You mean here or in the States?
In the States.
Well, if you commit a crime and you go through a legal system, well, it's very complicated because it's state by state. In some states, if you have one offense on what they call the criminal record, you cannot vote. And I was discussing it with my friend Tsukepe about what happened in 2000. So it depends on the state. Some states, if you have a minor offense, you can still vote. In some states, if it's a listing just like involving in, I don't know what, corporal punishment of a student, you will not vote. So it's state by state. You know, it's a federal system. Every state has its own laws. We have the federal law, which is controlled in DC, in Washington DC. But we have 50 states. You guys probably know that. 50. You guys have 9 provinces. We have 50 states, and every state has some kind of autonomy, some freedom to legislate its own laws. But all those laws are being regulated by the federal law in the Congress in DC. So yeah, to answer your question, in some states, if you have one offense which is minor, you can still vote. But if it is major, like, I don't know, rape and all kinds of things, drug trafficking, you will not vote. Okay, does that answer your question? Very good. Are we good so far? Have I answered most? I know I can't answer all because we don't have enough time. I think I've been speaking for more than an hour or so.
Did they come on here?
All right. Let's say really the real last. Go. If you are underage and you commit an offense, yes, there are juvenile prisons. We call them correctional services. I think you guys call them correctional services here. Yes, the juvenile prisons, which is not where I wanted to go. I would like to go to university to put on correctional services. But yeah, especially when it comes to somebody talking about racial things in the States. You guys have seen, you guys watch TV? You see how the police are maltreating black people there? Yes. So there's a possibility that you can actually be held accused of a crime that you have not committed, especially if you're black in the States. So if you are unfortunate to fall in that category, you may go to a juvenile correctional center instead of going to the regular prison, which is not very good because you go there and you learn other horrible things that big criminals are doing there. So they separate the juveniles from the adults, yes. But as I said again, I always say to my students, there are 3 things you can do in the United States and you live a good life. Make sure you are on the right side of the law. Make sure that you are studying, because with your degree you can do anything in the United States, not about a skin color, it's about the brain. And the last thing, make sure that you're living a healthy life. I didn't say that here to you guys. Health is very important. Health is wealth. So those of you guys who consume all kinds of silly things, please avoid, I know they're going to arrest me now. Avoid all that stuff that comes from McDonald's. It's full of fats. And then you go with a second stomach and stuff like that. Avoid drinking too much. No, I'm very serious. I'm very, very serious. If I tell you my age, you'll be surprised. But I still look fit. Avoid drinking Coca-Cola and all that stuff that contains all kinds of chemicals. Coke is very bad. It's addictive. It's almost as bad as taking drugs. Coke. You guys know about people who get up at midnight to go and drink Coke before they go to bed? What do you think is going on there? There's drug inside that stuff, folks. Alright, I'm going to stop. Yes, I don't know if everybody knows him. He's a great film actor, right? He's in Hollywood. I happen to have worked in California. I didn't tell you that. I've worked for 3 years teaching at the military university in California, in Monterey. And Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of that state at the time. To be very honest with you, I hate that dude. You know why I hate him? He misgoverned the state of California. And we went bankrupt because of that. So for that reason, I hate Arnold Schwarzenegger. But as a film actor, I love him. Does that answer your question? Yes.
Allow me to for the words of wisdom, and also thank you students for the questions that you have been asking. They are very, very, very interesting. There is one question that tagged me, and I felt like, wow, this one. About the issue of you die here, you reappear. I don't want to respond that one as a man of God, but I want to respond that one as a science person. You know, I remember when I was studying in Nottingham, we talked about the issue of existentialism. And we were comparing scientificism and traditional beliefs and traditional myths. You know, there are a lot of things that we believe in our traditional life which are scientifically not valid because they cannot repeat them themselves. For example, if you go to the graveyard, I can come back and I say, I saw a ghost. If I take a friend to the graveyard, I won't be able to say the ghost is there. Meaning that it's not scientifically valid. Because a science thing that you believe in, it is something that can be repeated by someone. You get it? Like the science students, you were doing the experiment about the esterification. Somebody have done that and you are just repeating to show that it's valid. So these issues that we hear about, one dies here, one flies from this place to another place, it's myth in our tradition. It was a good question. Okay, it was very good. I loved it. It was a very good challenging for me. Yeah. Furthermore, alright, let's proceed. Furthermore, you heard Prof saying the sky is no longer the limit when it comes to your applications. The world is for your entry. You can apply anywhere in the world. Don't just focus on University of Limpopo, University of Venda, Joburg. No, you've got the right of movement in this world because God created this so you can apply wherever you want to go. And try to inquire for guidance and inquire for scholarship bursaries so that you will be able to enter into various institutions. Like he indicated that when you want to know about he went to America as a lecturer. I went there as a student. There is a difference there. I used also the same immigration process. You commit for different funds. But then I went with the Erasmus Estate. Erasmus Estate is like Prof. Peter here, having a lot of money. Then he says, when I die, my money I want to be used to sponsor students who start along my line of career. So it finds that when I was doing my Form 6, which is 1 year above matric, I did also commit for that, and I won that. Then it took me to an Erasmus Institute for Physics Institutes, where you only go and study theoretical physics and maths, and nothing else. So you'd find that it takes you out when you go and say, like, our school is privileged one. We've got a very beautiful media center. And that's where Mr. Skepe is the library. Yeah, there's a library, there's a smart bike with more than 24 computers which are all internet. So what I advise you, like I always say, is instead of crying how should I take myself out of poverty? Learn to search for information and ask and be guided so that you change the poverty that is there at home. And if you check, very few who come from rich families are prosperous because they are spoiled. But those who come from the poor families, you thrive your way up the tree. And remember, I always say to the science class, if you brush two trees that brush together, cannot avoid brushing. If you grow two mango trees next to each other, when they grow up, their branches, they intertangle. So thank God that we have got a prof who came to our school, we have brushed him. Please, in the near future, let's tangle with the prof so that we are able to use him to migrate to America and also study there. And no, he did say the conduct, Mr. Skepe is everywhere, and Mr. Skepe is not going to refuse with the conduct. They are not his conduct.
If he refuses, then we must story in front of his house.
Yes. So, my matric students, allow me to thank Prof for his time, and also allow me to thank Mr. Skepe for inviting his friends to come and talk to us. We want to welcome you back once again. We want to thank you. Good luck. This is what you are going to do. Let's not make a lot of noise. Let's not waste our time. We just go out at the stage there. Then we'll go to a photo with him.